How y'all doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Welcome to Daily Devotion. Welcome, 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 welcome. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Happy Thursday. Happy Testimony Thursday. Happy Transformation Thursday. How y'all doing? How has y'all day been going thus far? How y'all doing? As y'all jump on, come on in and speak to your girl. Y'all already know. Come on in, speak to your girl. Let me know what city, what state that you all are chiming in from. Let me know how your day has been going. Welcome to Daily Devotion. Our topic for today is called Connect, Commit, and Communicate. Connect, commit, and communicate. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? As y'all jump on, stay here for a while. Tap that screen for me on TikTok and share my live because you never know. You may need what it is that I have to say. And of course, I got to put my phone on Do Not Disturb. How y'all doing? How y'all doing this evening on this Thursday? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? I'm going to go ahead and get started. Today's topic is called Connect, Communicate, Connect, Commit, and Communicate. And it's coming from Romans 16th chapter, 2nd verse. She has been helpful to many, and especially to me. When it comes to life's great achievers, the Apostle Paul is in a league of his own. But he takes one entire chapter of the Bible, Romans 16, to acknowledge all the people who help him to succeed in his calling. The chapter could be captioned, I couldn't have done it without you. He starts by talking about Phoebe, who is worthy of honor, for she's been helpful to many, especially me. President Lyndon Johnson said, there are no problems we cannot solve together, and very few that we can solve by ourselves. When God created Adam, he said, it is not good that man should be alone. I will make him a helper. Genesis 2:18. And he created Eve. From the beginning of time, God teaches us that very little of significance is God teaches us that very little of significance is ever accomplished by an individual acting alone. Look below the surface and you will find that all the single-handed feats are really team efforts. Daniel Boone had his disposal companions from the Transylvania Company while blazing the wilderness roads. Wyatt Harps, two brothers, and Doc Holliday assisted him. Charles Lindbergh had the finances of 9 businessmen from St. Louis and the expertise of Ryan Aeronautical Company, which built his plane. Even Albert Einstein acknowledged, many times a day I realize how much my own outer and inner life is built upon the labors of my fellow men, both living and dead, and how earnestly I must exert myself in order to give in return as much as I have received. The secret to success in any endeavor can be summed up in these 3 words: connect, commit, and communicate. So in today's daily devotion, we're learning that you can't do it alone. I know a lot of people feel like they can do it all by themselves, but at some point on your journey, you got some help. You got some help from somebody. I know previously on Daily Devotion, do I have that book? I don't think I have. I don't know where I put the other book, but it was talking about how in success, we as a people like to take credit of our success and say that we did it. We love to say I, and don't give the other person credit for what help that they did. And God said, I gave you the idea. Because a lot of times in success, people forget to acknowledge that God helped them or that somebody helped them. And God said, you wouldn't have success if I hadn't give you that idea. If I didn't give you those relationships to build, if I didn't do that, you wouldn't be successful. So that's God again showing us, just like today, Apostle Paul didn't make it on his own. And if you read Romans chapter 16, he acknowledged everyone that helped him be successful on his journey. So who all helped you to get to where you are today? Have you thanked them for how they have helped you on the journey that you're on? I know I try my hardest to give credit where credit is due. Especially with my newfound purpose that I have, and I'm still like learning as I go on this new purpose that I have. Like the name of my ministry, I didn't even create that. The name I didn't come up with that. One of my mentors gave me the name Grieving Gracefully, and that's the name of my ministry, Grieving Gracefully. Thank you for liking my live. So I always give her credit because I didn't come up with that name. She did. She saw how I grieved the loss of my son. Thank you, 1OV Messiahs. She saw how I was grieving over my son. And because I grieve differently, and because God gave me strength, that I'm able to tell my story the way that I am, and I'm able to talk to y'all, and I'm able to function and live my life because of the strength he gave me. She gave me Grieving Gracefully. So if you all over my platform is Grieving Gracefully, even the journal that God gave me to write, even the journal that I recently published is called Grieving Gracefully, a guided grief journal. You can find that on Amazon. Grieving Gracefully by Sally D. Isaac. So in order for you to be successful, you're going to have to connect with some people. You're going to have to commit, and then you're going to have to communicate. What have you done in life that you feel like you need to connect, commit, and communicate with? Is there some people in your life that maybe they've helped you, but maybe you didn't give them the acknowledgement that they deserve for the help? You just took all the credit. If that's you, this is your sign to publicly acknowledge them in helping you to get to where you are. It says the secret to success in any endeavor can be summed up with these three words: connect, commit, and communicate. It says in Genesis 2:18, God spoke about man was not put here to be alone. So it might be some things that you're trying to do, but you're stuck and you're trying to figure it out by yourself. But God didn't put you to be here alone. He put other people on here to help you as well. Just like he made Eve so that Adam can have his helpmeet. You may need somebody in your corner while you're working on that vision to help you execute it. Because I got stuck. Because I tell you, I'm in a new purpose. I got stuck when, like, like 2 weeks ago. It's like I was stuck. It's like, I don't know if y'all ever felt like this. I felt like I was all over the place and nowhere at the same time. Like, I know what God want me to do because he got me doing a couple of things. And then I have a health and wellness business too. So I was like, how am I work that and do my ministry? Like, how do I do this? How do I work my ministry that God has told me that I need to do? And how do I work my health and wellness business at the same time? Like, how do I do that? And then I'm a stay-at-home mom too. So I still got to do my functions, and I still got to be a wife, and I still got to be a mom, and I still got to run these businesses that I have. And I'm in a marriage group on Facebook. And one of the girls had posted a video by oh my God, what's the lady's name? Her name is Terry Foy. Terry. I think her name is Terry Foyle. I don't know if y'all ever seen her. She's a little white lady, and she has like a mouse-like voice. It can be a little annoying, but I love her. And she posted this video, and that video reminded me that there were some things in my life that I used to do that I forgot. So in that moment where I was stuck, God sent one of the wives in this marriage group that I'm in to post this video to help me get from unstuck. So your help may come from, it may come out of the blue like mine, because I'm like, all the things that she mentioned in the video was things that I already knew that I was supposed to do. Like, I already get up early in the morning. I already get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I get up at 5 o'clock in the morning because that's the time when everybody in my house is asleep and I can have my alone time with God unbothered. So that's when I have my alone time with God, is 5 o'clock in the morning. Now, I ain't saying I wake up every morning at 5 o'clock, because I don't wake up every morning. I be tired, okay? I be tired. But the majority of the time, I'm waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning so that I can have my alone time with God. But what thing that I stopped doing was during the day, like when I clean up, like I listen to a lot of worship music. You know, when we clean up, we got to listen to music. We got to get in that mood with the music. So I start listening to music all the time. And I stopped listening to like motivational things and stuff like that. And in that video, she said, in order for you to get to where you want to be, you're going to have to surround yourself around people who's already done what you're doing and they're already successful in that. And I was like, I know this. Like, what am I waiting on? I'm like, I know this already. Why haven't I done this? And then she was like, if you live somewhere and she's like, you feel like you're the smartest person in your circle, then you need to start listening to YouTube, because you know they got everything on YouTube. And she said, listen to some Audible books, because even if you can't physically get around those people, you can listen to the books that they write. You can listen to their videos on YouTube, and you can start expanding your mind and getting higher by that, if you're not able to physically get around those people. Now, I am physically able to get around these people. The people who are in my life that are where I want to be. Because if y'all just joining me for the first time and y'all haven't been on my live before, we lost our oldest son 2 years ago. He unalived himself. And since then, God has ushered me into my purpose. And a part of my purpose, I have a ministry now called Grieving Gracefully. And I show people how you can still love on God. You can still trust God, even if he don't answer your prayers the way that he wants you to, because ultimately he didn't answer my prayers the way I want him to. I wanted my son to come from out of the street, have a complete turnaround and him have the testimony. Instead, God gave me the testimony to tell people and for me to show people the strength that he gave me. But I also say, in seeing my strength, you don't have to be grieving, because a lot of people who saw my strength and a lot of people who inboxed me after losing my son, they commended me on my strength, but they weren't going through grief. The strength that I had made them feel stronger in their faith journey with God. So that's what led to me becoming a published author. So now I showed this book earlier, where I'm now a published author of a grief journal. It's a guided journal. It's a 30-day journal of what I did, the things that I've done to get to where I am now. And I tell people, even if you want a closer relationship with God, you can get this journal too. You don't necessarily have to be grieving, because ultimately what I did in this journal is I got closer to God. And because I got closer to God, that helped me with my grief in losing my son. And God told me to turn it into a journal. So that's what I did. I put it in a journal because God told me to. So now you can publish it. You can purchase this on Amazon, and you can go to the link in my bio. And another thing that I'm now doing, I'm now a public speaker. I have been speaking at events. I booked my first paid speaking event for May of this year. Excuse me. I have been speaking on podcasts. I have been on Christian TV shows. So, and I just take y'all on the journey with me, because this newfound, like I just walked into this purpose in 2024. I lost my son December 28th, 2022. And I walked into my purpose in 2024. Like summer 2024 is when like my life changed and people start asking me to tell my story on podcasts and things like that. Because I didn't think what I was doing was a big deal. I thought I was just living life and trusting the Lord. That's all I thought I was doing. That's all I thought I was doing. I didn't think what I was doing was a big deal, but God thought it was a big deal. So here I am. I come on here and we do a daily devotion Monday through Friday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I go live on TikTok and YouTube. So that's a part of my ministry as well, where I do a daily devotion Monday, because I'm new to reading the Bible. So y'all go get this raw and uncut from me. I mean, mind you, I don't curse. I do not curse. But you're going to get it raw and uncut, because I just started reading the Bible in 2023 for real. So I know it's some other people that just started reading the Bible too. Because all before, I just opened the Bible on Sunday at church. When the pastor said, will you turn to Matthew chapter 5, verse 3? That's what I did. And then during the week, I ain't opened my Bible anymore. But in 2023, I decided to get serious. And I started reading the Bible. And once I started reading the Bible, my life changed. My life changed. And here I am today, taking y'all through this journey of me walking through this newfound purpose. So, who do you need to connect with in order for you to execute your purpose, or execute that business plan that you have, or for you to execute whatever it is that God laid on your heart to do? That maybe you have been stuck thinking that you can do it on your own, and you're just stuck. You just can't figure it out. I'm going to suggest you go on YouTube and find you a motivational video. If you can, dog, I wish I could. I can't. I think her name is Terry Foy, Foy. And she's a little white lady, and she has this little like mouse squeaky voice. But outside of her mouse squeaky voice, what she says is so on point. So since one of the wives put it in the group, I have been being more intentional with my day, and I have been listening to one of her, because the video she posts maybe 30 minutes, 25 to 30 minutes. So while I'm washing the dishes, I will listen to her. And then also, in order for me to feel like I accomplished something, I started doing a to-do list again, because I had to think when I was working a job, because I ain't worked a job in almost 5 years. When I was working a job, what did I do to make sure that I get my work done at work? And one of the things that I had myself do is I made a checklist. Like, I had a checklist of what I had to do, and I also had a checklist for my files. For those of you who don't know, God retired me July 1st, 2020. And I was a paralegal for 10 years. So when I was working my cases, I had a checklist in my files, and I also had a daily checklist of what files that I needed to complete and what clients that I needed to call that day. So I had to start implementing what I did on my job at home. Because when you at home, you get complacent. You at home, you just be home with the kids, you got the TV, you got all this food in the refrigerator, and you start getting complacent. So that's the commitment part that I had to do. I connect with some people, because I got 2 mentors. I connect with some people, and then I had to make a commitment to myself that I'm going to follow through. What I follow through. So one of the things is me to do a to-do list, and me to listen to a motivational video in the morning. And then the next thing is for you to communicate. So the next thing I had to do was communicate, because that's what our topic is today: connect, commit, and communicate. So now I got to stay in communications with the people who I connected to. So don't just connect with the people and then fall off, and then you're wondering why everything is still the same and nothing's changing, and you falling back in that slump again, because you didn't. You connected, but you didn't commit, and you stopped communicating. You're gonna have to do all three. Because it said the secret to success in any endeavor can be summed up in these 3 words: connect, commit, and communicate. So first, you're going to connect with the people you need to help execute whatever it is that you're working on. Then you're going to be committed to whatever plan that you all come up with. And then you're going to stay in communications with the people to ensure that you get done what needs to get done. I pray y'all was blessed by this today, because I was blessed, because this actually was like holding me accountable for what I say I'm doing in private. Because what you do in private shows up in your public. Okay. People can tell what you do in private when you go to open your mouth. If you still talking the same and your language hasn't changed, people know what you're doing in private ain't much of nothing. You ain't reading nothing. You ain't listening to nothing. You say you doing it, but you ain't changing nothing. It show up in your work. It shows up in your work. So this lesson today was really confirming to me what I recently started doing. I recently told myself I need to do a to-do list, because I ain't gonna tell y'all no lie. I recently, literally last week, I was like, all right, let me do this to-do list. I did the to-do list. And last week was when I made the decision that I was going to start listening to a motivational video in the mornings while I clean up the kitchen. So, y'all, connect with the people you need to, make a commitment, and then stay in communication with them to ensure that whatever project that you're working on is successful. I pray that you all were blessed by today's daily devotion. I pray you have an amazing night on purpose. I will see you all back here tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See y'all later. Bye-bye.